up, guys? Welcome back to Digital Dive In, your proper gaming talk show, where we dive into the latest news, conversations, and topics every single week in the gaming sphere. As usual, it is your host, Sanzology, and J-Dubs.
What up? Whoop, whoop, whoop.
He's looking all dapper. He's looking all dapper. I'm just wearing a black t-shirt. Sorry. For once, he looks better than I do. But we are going to be diving into a weird topic today. Kind of a weird topic. It's one that a lot of people haven't actually been talking about a whole lot, which I find very surprising, even though it's, I don't know if people just have ignored this topic or just talk about it individually specific to each game that it happens to. But it's this whole idea around games that either launch badly and get fixed or just get forgotten and abandoned. So the main reason we're talking about this is because obviously Cyberpunk 2077 got its 2.0 update, and it made the game almost not completely different, obviously, but they reworked a lot in the game. I dove into it just briefly, just to see what it was about, just to see what it was like. And not only does it look different, it plays so much better than it ever has before. The entire skill tree is overhauled and changed. More weapons, car combat. There's like, you can put guns on cars now and shit. Car combat's what it should be, like what it is in like GTA and shit. That's what you have now. I'm like, oh my god, this makes it so much better. Holy shit. Like the game was fixed in like the 1.5 update. It was. They fixed it a lot. They fixed all the bugs, the crashes, all that shit. This just makes it like what they wanted it to be on launch that they just did not achieve initially. So, yeah. But the fact that they actually, stuck with it and fixed it and put time, effort, and passion into making it better is still great. And I always applaud devs for doing that kind of thing. Because a lot of times they don't. They just abandon the game. They're just like, you know what? We already sunk enough time and money into this game, and it's so far away from being fixed, so we're just going to move on. And that sucks. I hate that. Because then I'm out $70 for a broken, boring, lifeless game.
See, that's the issue. You shouldn't be applauding them for this. This is expected. If you get a car that's fucked up, what do? They don't give it to you back until it's fixed, unless you say otherwise.
Yeah, and they fix it for free.
It is expected for them to fix your car to full completion.
Yeah. True.
If this game comes out and I pay full price for things that are fundamentally missing, it is your expectation, it is your duty to put in what you advertised, what you promised, and what you said was going to be in there, and what you developed for.
You're 100% right, and I'm not even mad at you for that. You're 100% right. But in a world where that shit doesn't always happen, like, you gotta call out the devs that actually do what should be done by default. Like, the more focus you show, the more focus and like praise you put on those devs, the more likely it's going to happen to other games later on. So it's a weird situation, but exactly, it's just the world that we live in. But like, there's other games, and there's a lot of famous games that are famous for the fact that they did not get fixed. Case in point, game that just got delisted last month, Marvel's Avengers. That game lasted a whole year. I think it was a year, right? Was that 2022 or is that 2021?
See, the thing with that was 2021, I believe. See, the thing with that was that you really shouldn't count that game, because that game was just fundamentally, structurally flawed. Like, there was no patching.
2020, actually. Shit.
There was no patching that was ever going to say that game. That game
well,
was just badly made in general.
The game was like the whole concept and structure of the game itself was its biggest issue. The whole fact that it was a live service game was its biggest issue. Live service games suck. I'm just gonna come out and say it. Live service games are shit. All right, they never do well. They've been infamously bad. Most of the biggest live service games that released in the past 5 years have crashed and burned. I'm talking Anthem, Marvel's Avengers, Redfall. What's happening here, guys? You see the trend. Nobody likes these games.
I mean, the Battle Royales seem to be doing pretty well. The NBA 2K games seem to be doing pretty well. The Call of Duty games seem to be doing pretty well. Destiny seems to be doing pretty well. Warframe seems to be doing pretty well. Like you still got
Warframe is the OG. You can't use Warframe. Plus, they have reworked the shit out of that game at least 10 times. Like holy shit.
Like live service games, for every live service game that doesn't work, there's a live service game that does work.
I mean, fair.
That's why fair. PlayStation is just like, we're about to make all these live service games because they think it's all the mobile games and the fucking live service games. That's what's going on right now. The mobile market is booming for whatever fucking reason because you're too lazy to go out and get a goddamn console. You want to play these fucking gripey ass dumb fucking iterations of actual games on your phone.
Personally, I don't consider Call of Duty live service or something like that. I guess it technically is. Technically is. But I'm talking about those games that they're like action games. They're games that typically wouldn't be live service. Like whenever you make a game, and this is not a live service conversation. We're just having this tangent really quick. Whenever you make a style of game that typically wouldn't be live service into a live service game, it never ends well, ever. And I don't know why people keep doing this, but they do. All right? Like Call of Duty makes sense. Sports games, I don't know why sports games just aren't just one live service game that gets updated every year, but whatever. I don't understand. Multiplayer FPS games, it makes sense. Battle Royales makes sense. But like action superhero games, no, it fucking doesn't. All right, like why? But anyways, the fact of the matter is, a lot of those games did not get updated, did not get fixed. I mean, Marvel's Avengers, like you said, like the whole actual base structure of that game was its biggest issue. So there's that. But then you look at Anthem, you look at Redfall. Redfall released 3 months ago, has not received a single update since. Like, just give us something. Like, do something to fix that game, because the game is shit. The game is bad.
To be fair, the patch to fix all patches of Star Wars didn't come until like a month ago, so.
I mean, well, for PC, yeah. I mean, on consoles, the game played fine since launch. So
people that had some console issues.
I didn't have any console issues. I had a very clean playtime throughout the entire time. Sorry, my eyes weird. I had like some screen tearing, but that was about it. And that was only in certain situations. For the most part, I didn't really get any bugs or glitches or anything like that. Performance-wise, I didn't really see a whole lot of dips in frames or anything like that. So it was a pretty smooth playthrough for me.
Well, lucky you.
I know. For other people, it might not be the same.
And I believe it because when I played Jedi Fallen Order, I was having glitches. There was a glitch where I couldn't even get through the fucking level. It just wouldn't go to the next part of the game, and I was stuck for like a week. To put the fucking patch out. So
yeah, it's dumb.
Until they didn't learn their lesson from the last time, because this game still had myriad fucking patches. And once again, it should not take 8 months. It should not take 2 years. It should not take all this fucking time for me to get the fucking game I should have got day one.
I mean, that's also
I could die in that time.
Yeah. I mean, that's also a conversation for the recent like state of PC ports. PC ports have not been great lately. They really have not. I mean, both Hogwarts and Star Wars both had really bad PC ports. What was it? Last of Us had a really, really, really bad PC launch. Only a handful of games launched pretty well. I mean, Spider-Man launched pretty well on PC. Horizon launched pretty well. But like the day one ports just haven't been great. For whatever reason, I don't really understand it.
No, they tightened it up after what was the one you just mentioned? After Jedi Survivor, they tightened it up because like Diablo was fine, Street Fighter 6 was fine, Exo Primal was fine, all the summer Remnant was fine, all the summer releases were perfectly fine. So I don't know what it was with that fucking April and winter shit.
Yeah, I wonder if those are games that were like got like delayed, and they had like some development issues.
Yeah.
That might be an issue. I don't know.
I mean, I'll be interested to see what happens when
optimization issue, but still.
I'll be interested to see what happens when Alan Wake 2 comes out because I want to see how that optimizes for PC.
Yeah, like Starfield launched really well on PC. Now that's also a Xbox exclusive, so there's that. But still, it launched really well. I've been having a very clean playthrough of it, so who knows? I have no idea. All I know is that some games are getting fixed and some aren't. And the ones that have been getting fixed, I've noticed, are indie titles. Whereas the ones that haven't gotten fixed are like, it's the fault of the publisher.
Yeah.
Like Anthem, basically EA told BioWare, we're not giving you any more money to keep working on this game. It hasn't made us money, so we're just going to pull the plug on it. I'm like, that's fucked up. That's stupid as shit. They could have easily fixed that game.
Oh, yeah, that could have came back really in a really good way. Like, everybody was waiting for that Anthem 2.0, and I even bought it. I bought the fucking Legendary Edition for $5, and I was actually enjoying myself. I bought it with, we're actually fucking some shit up doing the combo specials and the elemental stuff. I was like, this combo's actually pretty fucking fire. I don't know what people were talking about. And,
I mean... Yeah, there were a lot of issues. The main thing with Anthem was it was just empty. And we've had that conversation before. Some people don't mind it. I did mind it because I know what BioWare makes, and this just didn't hit.
I mean, you were in the middle of a forest for the most part. What were they supposed to be? Cities, people? What did you expect?
They thrive at making really good characters, really good dialogue, really good stories, and this had none of that. And also, guys, I apologize. All three of
those elements of that game.
I also apologize for this insane lag that we're getting right now. I don't know why. I honestly think that the issue with games not getting updated is not with the devs entirely. I do think it is more to do so with the publishers, because you look at other games that did get updated, like No Man's Sky, Cyberpunk, both technically indie devs. Yes, CDProjektRed is technically an indie dev. They're not owned by anyone else. They have no parent company. It's just them. They make and publish their own games. So, but I think what they did was impressive. But I think what people remember and what people praise to this day still is Hello Games with their work on No Man's Sky, because that shit is just damn impressive. Because not only did they actually fix the game, but they've released expansion on top of expansion, all for free. There's 10 different expansions to the game now.
You're forgetting that the two great comeback stories took literally 3 to 7 years each.
It took a while. It took a while. No Man's Sky launched in 2015, and
that shit didn't get, and they kept fixing it, but that shit didn't get fixed for 4 years.
Yeah,
and throughout the whole 4 years, they were actually updating it, and each one just sucks.
They
still.
just kept adding more and more and more with every single update until it got to the point where it was what it should have been on launch, which was about a year and a half after its launch, and then they just kept going. They just kept adding more and more and more and more and more.
It was like
and it was like
great. 2 years. It was like a solid 2 years before
maybe
they
2
got
years.
it together.
It was a year and a half, 2 years.
It got to the point people had given up. Let's just put it that way. That's why it was such a banger. That's why it was such a big surprise too, because people just thought it was just not going to get fixed because it took every time they.
Well, they knew it was going to get fixed because Hello Games was putting out reports and press releases and updates to the game consistently, constantly, and they're always being like, hey, this is what we're working on next, giving all their fans and their entire fan base a look into their process and how they're doing everything. I'm like, that's how you do it. That's great. I love that.
But they weren't. It wasn't until it started getting good because the first updates were just okay.
Yeah, they only added quality of life stuff here and there.
Maybe this won't ever get fixed like we need to. And then surprisingly, it did out of nowhere. It did, and it was just like, all right, cool. So
yeah.
And then it was Cyberpunk once again. It took 4 years of updates, all consistently updating it. And each
it wasn't 4 years.
Just a little bit less.
The game launched in 2020.
I mean, you know what I mean.
It was fixed within a year and a half, because their 1.5 update was in February and the game launched in December of 2020. So by February 2022 was their 1.5 update. So it was just over a year.
Oh, that's fair.
So, and that was their big update that completely fixed the game. They had a lot of updates leading up to that, and then that was their cumulative update, and then they started work on the 2.0 update, which overhauled everything.
So terrible.
I mean, it's not. I mean, I wouldn't say it's terrible. I think it's great what they did. It sucks that we had to wait this long for the game to be this good, but at least we actually got it to be this good. They could have just forgotten about the game. I mean, they're not the type to do that. I mean, it's CDProjektRed. They are pretty passionate about the games that they make, and if something's bad, they're going to fix it. We've seen that time and time again. So
people used to talk good about EA. Oh, were those the days? I think devs. It's really hard to say because. It's devs do learn, but then devs don't learn, or publishers learn, then publishers don't learn. And right now we're still in the era of unfinished products. Now we're kind of tipping back the scales back to coming out with finished products, little by little. But who knows if we'll ever get there again, at least in the AAA market. And this is why I've been playing a lot of AA and indie shit.
Oh no, and that's totally fair too. And indie devs really, really, really give a shit about their games, to an impressive amount. If there's any issues, if there's anything broken, then they're going to come in and fix that shit as soon as they can.
And then the beauty of those games too is that a lot of them have Kickstarters and you can just buy in and watch the develop and grow with the game. You have that one-on-one with developers themselves, and you can talk about the game, what you want to see in the game, and
that's super cool. I think that's great. I love that.
I'm actually kickstarting. I'm kickstarting a couple games right now, which is really really dope. And I get to just talk to them. They give me the free the free version that they made so far, the updated version. I just play and of course along with the other people, but it's really nice. You know what I mean? So I can't wait for these games to come out this year. Next year is going to be awesome.
We got to get. Oh man, I forget the guy's name. The guy who sent us that retro cyber assassin
Ninja
game.
Assassin. Yeah, he updated it.
He did?
Yeah, he did. I follow the game on Steam. So
nice.
after we reviewed it, but yeah, he updated it with a lot of stuff. I don't know if I'll get around to playing it at any point, just because I'm still trying to catch up with other stuff.
Of course, yeah. There's
I'm playing
so
through
many
Control
other games
right now.
Dude, I totally forgot that Assassin's Creed was even coming out.
I know.
And I was like, oh, fuck, that comes out this week. And I was like, just to close things out, guys, what do you think? What is your opinion about games that launch badly and get updated versus don't get updated? How do you feel about just the state of how games are released in general nowadays? We would love to hear your thoughts about that. And why do you think a game does or doesn't get updated when everything's said and done? Let us know all your thoughts in the comment section below. We always love to hear
it was so
from you
terrible.
guys.
Sorry guys, just wanted to chill tonight and just kind of vibe out.
Hey, look, you know what? Blame media and just the industry for fucking nothing happening this week. Like nothing at all. Assassin's Creed came out. That's the news. Anyways, guys, we appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please hit that like button, hit that bell so you get notified whenever these videos go live. If you're not subscribed yet, do it! Hit the subscribe button. And also check us out over on Spotify for podcasts once in a while when I actually remember to upload a podcast. When we actually do, upload a podcast, it's been a bit just because we've been recording late and don't have time to upload a proper post. But we will, again, probably, maybe, at some point. Anyways, Jules, thank you so much for coming on and hanging out. I'm gonna show him my new ship that I've been spending 6 hours building. Guys, thank you so much. We love you guys. Stay excellent. And we'll see you guys next Friday for the next Proper Game Talk Show. Peace out.
Later.